You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History. Minor Family Dentistry would like to bring you the following dental health tip. It's recommended to have a dental checkup no later than your child's first birthday. An adult should brush for a young child and monitor older children's brushing to ensure a good job is done. Flossing should start when teeth are touching. Minor Family Dentistry wishes you good dental health. Families, including children of all ages, are welcome. Minor Family Dentistry, 1010 Downing and Hayes. Find them in the Next Tech directory.
So, you think you have skeletons in your closet? Come to Sternberg Museum, where we let our skeletons out of the closet.
Hello, and welcome to You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. My name is Dana Stanton, and I'm the coordinator of the West Central Kansas Smart Start program. And with me today is Danielle Massaglia. Hello, Danielle.
Hi, Dana.
Now, first of all, tell us what organization you work for and what do you do there?
Well, I work for Early Childhood Connections, which is the new name for Parents as Teachers in Early Head Start, and that also encompasses Head Start. We're a complete program. And I'm a parent educator. I see families in their homes and go over child development information and health information. And I also am the mental health consultant assistant. I help the Head Start and Early Head Start mental health consultant in her duties.
Okay. So you have plenty to do.
Yes,
Yes.
always.
Yes. Now, today we're going to talk about feeling word vocabularies. What is that?
Well, a feeling word vocabulary is this term that is used to explain this stash, this bank of feeling words that we have and that we have gotten since we were young children. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we use our feeling words and sometimes we don't. It just kind of depends on how we were raised and some of our upbringing on how we use them.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do young children use their feeling words?
Well, just like all words for young children, they're learning them. From about 7 to 9 months, that's when children start to know what words are, even though they don't use them. And then eventually they start to actually use the word, like they'll say the word ball for ball, even though they've actually known what ball means for some time. And the same is, that's the same for feeling words. It's going to take them a while to know feeling words. So they're just going to know them before they can say them.
Now, as parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, how do we teach children to learn feeling words?
Well, just like the objects that we teach them, we label a ball, we label a cup. We want to label feeling words for our children. Okay.
Now, an example. You used a cup and a ball. How would you use feeling words in that sentence?
Feeling words. Well, really, the examples that came to my mind were when thinking about feeling words is maybe you have little Johnny at the door and he sees Dad come home. Mm-hmm. So he would be jumping up and down and clapping his hands. So you say, Johnny, you are happy. Your dad is home. Mm-hmm. Or to go the other way, Sally's at the door and Dad has just left. And she's crying and she just is not very happy. So you say, Sally, you are crying. Your dad has left. You are sad. Mm-hmm. You are labeling the feeling word for the child. Because we usually know what our children are feeling. The hard part is actually saying it to them. Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some of the benefits of using feeling words with children?
Well, just as a child would make the connection between a cup and a ball, mm-hmm. the more times you say that, eventually it makes that connection in the brain and then they can actually say the word mm-hmm. to you. So instead of using negative expressions, once that child really has a connection with the feeling word, you've said, sad 100 times, you said happy 100 times, you said angry 100 times, eventually that older toddler is going to say back to the parent or another child, I'm mad that you took my ball, or I'm really happy you gave me that cup, rather than, hitting or biting or whatever young mm-hmm. children do, because those feeling words just really, the connection's not very strong yet and they're having a hard time mm-hmm. putting their emotions into words. So that's one benefit. Mm-hmm. And then a second benefit is also that as you are labeling feeling words for your child, they are going to feel understood. And how good does it feel to be understood? So you're kind of developing an even stronger bond with your child because this little person, little 3-year-old, little 2-year-old has just heard mom say, I'm sad, or you're sad. And so he's like, oh, yes, I am sad. My mom understands me, and that connection becomes stronger. And then as we continue to use filling words with our children, they're learning empathy. They're learning to see it in other people and respond to other people. Oh, my friend is sad. I should go give my friend a hug. And it's just so fun to see that to happen, and then they grow up to be caring adults.
Now, I assume this could be very useful in difficult situations, temper tantrums, those sort of things.
Yes, exactly. It's actually very useful, and I'll draw your attention here to this lovely formula that I have. This is a formula that I've had in my little bag of tricks for some time. I first learned about it when I was teaching in a toddler classroom, and 8 toddlers together. Well, there's a lot of difficult situations there, and this was brought to my attention, and it's called ACT. Acknowledge the feeling is the first step. Communicate the limit is the second step, and then T is target choices, and these are 2 positive choices. It's usually our habit as parents or as care providers to say, you need to pick up your room, or I'm going to take away the TV. You need to pick up your room, or you're going to go to timeout. You need to pick up your room, or you're not going to get dessert. So those are really very negative choices, and what child is going to want to do either one of those things? And part of growing up is wanting to have that sense of control. So if we can give 2 positive choices, then they still have to carry out their duty, but in a positive way. An example would be, this was just so cut and dry for me. My little 2-year-old was sitting at the table, and she wanted juice, and I had told her no. So she starts to get into tantrum mode, and I just calmly say, Shelby, I know that you are upset because you want juice, but you may not have juice. You've already had 1 cup. That's the rule in our house, 1 cup per day. So your choices are milk or water. She chose water first time. Tantrum over, less than 30 seconds. And I use this a lot in the classroom as well. And it gives those young people, those toddlers, those preschoolers a sense of control, but yet they still have to carry out, or they don't get what they want. So,
Okay, now if someone wants to know more about this, need a little more instruction on this, would they contact you?
Yes, they can contact me at 623-2440, extension 117.
Okay, and that's with Parents as Teachers, formerly Parents as Teachers.
Early Head Start.
Yeah, now Early Childhood Connections.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing with us today. Parents, remember ACT. And yes, and you've been watching You and Your Young Child, the program devoted to early childhood. Parents, remember you are your child's first and best teacher.
Thanks for watching You and Your Young Child, a program of information and services available for you and your child from prenatal to age 5. You can watch the program weekdays in the noon and 9 o'clock hours. You and Your Young Child has been brought to you in part by Minor Family Dentistry and by the Sternberg Museum of Natural History.